Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2022 ski test. Right here we've got the Salomon Stance 96. This ski was introduced for the first time last season, back again for 2022. No changes to the ski structurally or cosmetically. It's the same ski, but we've had another full year of testing on it, and there's pretty much no way we weren't going to include it in our ski test because it's an important ski. The stance line in general was designed as a grouping of skis to complement the existing QST line. So Salomon's QST line leans more towards the freeride side of the spectrum, more playful skis designed for softer snow conditions. The stance skis are heavier, stiffer, more stable at speed, designed more for firm snow performance, but this 96 is pretty darn versatile too. And I think among all mountain skis with two sheets of metal, the stance skis have some of the best soft snow characteristics, and we'll talk about why that is in just a little bit. So full poplar wood core in these skis. We get two sheets of metal as well in the forward body and the aft section of the ski. So kind of this portion of the ski as well as back here. We get these nice cutouts of the metal laminate, little windows. Salomon calls it metal twin frame. I like to refer to them as windows. And in those windows, instead of metal, we're getting their CFX material. So that's a combination of carbon and flax. And what that does is it takes a little bit of weight out of the extremities of the ski. So you get lighter swing weight, but you still get the performance benefits of metal. By putting CFX in those windows, you're still getting good stability, good responsiveness, some vibration damping too, but they're shedding weight. Having the metal along the edges is a little bit more important in this ski, as when you're on edge, you get that like really strong feel that we all like about metal. Now let's look at shape, because that's, I think, pretty important to why these skis feel the way they do and maybe feel a little bit more versatile than some. Nice amount of camber underfoot here. You can see that the camber is pretty high rise and there's a nice snap and energy to it. But then we get a good amount of tail rocker too. I'm always impressed, or at least always noticed the amount of tail rocker in these skis. A little bit more rise in the tail back here than some skis in the mid 90 range with metal category, which feels like a growing segment. Tip rocker is substantial too, in my opinion. You know, there's certainly skis with way more tip rocker, but again, among skis with two sheets of metal, pretty good amount of rise up there on the tip. Get a little bit of early taper in these skis too, so the tip kind of straightens out through this section and does a similar thing in the tail too, which gives you a little bit easier edge release, which I think helps a lot in softer snow conditions. So pretty strong skis still. This 182 has a 20-meter turn radius, so a 20-meter turn radius, two sheets of metal. Thing is going to go fast. There's pretty much zero speed limit to these skis, no lack of edge grip whatsoever. You can just mob down groomers on them, just ripping, carving turns. With the rocker profile, the slightly lighter swing weight, and that kind of subtle early taper, I do think they're a little easier than some in soft snow. So if you were to put it up against, I think a Mantra, either an M5 Mantra or an M6, the new Mantra is that's a common ski for people to ask about in comparison to this. A lot of similarities in their width and a lot of similarities in their construction too. That ski feels a little bit more precise, I think is fair to say. This ski feels a little looser when you take it into soft snow. So a little easier to maneuver through the trees, a little easier if you're to take it into bumps, into back bowls, into terrain like that. You're just not as locked into a turn, and you still get plenty of stability for when those moments, especially in wide open terrain like out west, if you want to just let them run and just mob through a bunch of choppy snow, they'll do that really, really well. So pretty cool how we get a ski with two sheets of metal like that, but with a touch of freeride influence. And I do think it's fair to say that they probably have the most freeride influence among skis in this width range with two sheets of metal. Obviously, if you were to compare it against like a QST 98 from Salomon, They're not as agile, they're not as playful, and they're not as maneuverable as those skis. They're more fatiguing and they're heavier, but they have a level of stability and power and vibration damping that basically anything that feels more playful than this is not going to achieve the stability of these skis. So for somebody that wants a strong ski, a lot of power, a lot of vibration damping, no lack of edge grip, but you want something with a little more versatility to it, I think the Stance 96 is one of the best options out there. So great ski from Salomon. That's the Stance 96. Let us know if you have any questions about it as usual, and we will see you out there on the slopes.